Good morning, everyone. So it is a Saturday and I am going to be taking my books to Half Price Books. So there's my car full of all the books that I did in my unhaul video. I did call them yesterday to see if I needed an appointment, and the funny thing is I called last week to ask if I needed an appointment, and they said no, it just might take a little longer if you have more books. And then I called yesterday to confirm, and they're like, oh, for that many books you really should have had an appointment. And I'm like, well, obviously I don't. And they're like, well, you could come anyways, it might just take a lot of time. So I might spend several hours at the bookstore looking around. I guess that's not so bad. I don't know, if I get there and they really bulk, I might just give them half of the books. We'll see how it goes. Everyone, so I'm home from going to Half Price Books. So I ended up, getting to sell all of my 9 boxes of books, and I ended up getting $72 in store credit. And so I bought quite a few things. I think I ended up spending like $80, so I did have to pay a little bit, but that was more just like me trying to do the math in my head, and then I didn't pay attention to tax when I was adding and all that stuff. So, but that's still fine. I mean, that still is quite a lot of free merchandise, and those are books I was going to get rid of anyways. I didn't do much filming in the store, as you could probably tell from the couple clips that I showed before this. And that's just because I feel really awkward when there are other people in the store, and so I was only like getting my phone out and filming when there was nobody else around. But you might have seen that there was like a shelf that was like all ancient history stuff, and that is one of the topics that my daughter and I are learning at school. So I'm going to show you the things that I got for her school. I got some things for my kids, and then I got some books for myself. I have to say most of these are children's books, like some, even the ones for myself are mostly middle grade. And that's because they have just such a great selection of kids books. Yeah, it just is great to see how many good books they have in that section. I did go through the adult, and I bought one adult book. I did go through a lot of the adult sections, but it's harder because there's so many mass market paperbacks or hardbacks, which are not my preference. And it's just harder to find trade paperbacks when you're looking through like hundreds and hundreds of books and, like trying to pick out where the trade paperbacks are and are they the ones you're actually interested in. So it's just harder to find adult books in a used bookstore for myself. But most kids books come in kind of paperback style, so it works out to do it that way. So let me just show you what I got. I got a few things for school. So like I said, we are doing like ancient history and myths for her school, and so I got this like book of Greek myths. We have the exact same book like this that we used last year that is called Stories from Around the World, which was just like folk tales and things like that, because last year we were studying like each continent and the different countries and things like that. And so this I thought was great because she really liked those stories last year, and they do have some pictures and stuff like that. And so this will be great when we do ancient Greece, which will be around like January, February time. And then I found one that'll be good for all year called Lost and Found. And this is kind of like archaeology type things, written in kind of a fun way with lots of pictures and all that, almost written like you are Indiana Jones or something like that. But it goes through a lot of different ancient civilizations, like Egypt, like an Egyptian pharaoh, and Tutankhamun's tomb. But then it also talks about like places in Machu Picchu, like tombs there, or a tomb in ancient England, or one in ancient China. So this will be great for all year because it kind of covers a lot of the different areas that we are doing for ancient history. So it's not just Egypt, it's covering a lot of different ancient civilizations. So I thought that was a good find for $4 to do with her school. And then we have a couple of unit studies that we're doing for science, and so I found one book for each of those. I got this book about ocean life, which kind of like is great for a 6-year-old level. So it'll have like big pictures and only like 1 page per animal. So I think that'll be really great for my daughter because she loves these ones that are like real pictures that aren't just cartoons, and she likes to just know little facts about the animals but doesn't want to like read pages and pages about one animal. So this is just given little things. This will be perfect for her ocean study. And then I got the Usborne Complete Book of the Human Body, which this is pretty expensive when you buy it on their website, and I wasn't planning on buying it because of the price. So this is pretty perfect, and it's just like a children's encyclopedia of the body. This will be perfect when we do our human body unit study because I can just read a couple pages a week depending on what system we're studying. And then I had one like book that was one of our read alouds. So this was assigned. This is The 100 Dresses by Eleanor Estes, and this is one we were planning on reading this year. And I was just going to get it from the library, but since it was like $3, I figured I would pick up that. And it does have some pictures, which is great for a read aloud. I like ones that have pictures in it. So that one is one that we are definitely going to read because it's on the curriculum already. And then I got my kids just a present for each of them because I figured while we were there, I'll get something fun. So for my 3-year-old, I got her one of those search and find. So this is for trolls. You know, it's like one of those where like they have like the different things you're supposed to find in the picture. She loves these kind of things. I don't even think she's seen the trolls, but there just wasn't a lot of like characters that she would know, but I think she'll be fine. And maybe we'll watch the Trolls because I know when my 6-year-old was that age, she enjoyed the Troll movie, so maybe we'll watch it. And then my older daughter, my 6-year-old, has really been into bugs lately. She has been off catching bugs like every day for the last week. We gave her a butterfly net, and she's been catching grasshoppers and butterflies and moths and all kinds of bugs that she has been finding, caterpillars and things. So I got her this. It's kind of like a workbook. It does have like, you can't really see it, but there's like these stencils or something that are in here that are hard. And then it's got like different facts about different bugs. And there's also like activity pages. Ooh, spider, sorry if you're afraid of spiders. But then also like activity pages and stuff like that. So I think she's really going to enjoy this. And then I think it has stickers in the back. It's great that at a used bookstore that they still have like the stickers and everything like that. So that'll be a fun gift for her. And then I bought some books that they're not part of our curriculum to do as read alouds, but if we have space throughout the year, these might be ones I would throw in because they're just good for this age group for a 6-year-old. So I have George's Marvelous Medicine by Roald Dahl, which I'll probably read first because I have found that some of the Roald Dahl books don't hold up over time, but I've heard good things of this one. I never read this when I was a kid, so it's short. I'll read this one first and see if it's a good one to read with my daughter. But I love these ones that are illustrated by Quentin Blake. I just really enjoy his illustrations and stuff, so I'll read that one first. I think I had a friend that read this recently and reviewed it on BookTube and said it was good for kids, so probably I'll just read it through real quick. And then I have Stuart Little by E.B. White. My daughter and I have read aloud Trumpet of the Swan, and we're going to be reading Charlotte's Web as part of our curriculum this year. We did listen to it in the car several years ago, but she was only like 3 at that point, and so I don't think she remembers when we read Charlotte's Web, so we're going to read it again this year. But I figure, I might as well own Stuart Little too, and maybe we will read this one as well if we have time throughout the year. And then I also picked up The Little Prince. I don't know if I'll read this to my daughter. I don't really know if it's a good read aloud or whatever. It does have pictures and stuff. But I've heard mixed things when people have reviewed this classic, but I figured for a couple dollars I would check it out and see if it's something I want to read with my daughter. And then I also picked up The Tiger Rising by Kate DiCamillo, and that's because we just read The Tale of Despero by the same author, and my daughter loved it. And so I'm just like, if I see a Kate DiCamillo book, I'm probably just going to buy it. And then I want to test this one first to see if it's for her age or it's a little older, because her books kind of range and sometimes have some pretty hard issues in them. So this one doesn't have any pictures in it, so it might be for a little older audience, but it can just stay on our shelves for a couple years. I'm sure by the time she's 8, this will be fine for her. And then we have the stack of books that are for me, but they're also middle grade mostly. So if I like them, I'll keep them on my shelves for when my kids get older. I wanted to try Gregor the Overlander by Suzanne Collins. This is the same author as The Hunger Games. And I'd recently heard a couple people that said they really enjoyed this. This is her like middle grade series. And I don't even know, it looks like there's 5 books in the series. So I just wanted to give it a try. It looks like there'll be like flying dragons or some kind of animal like that. Sounds like fun. I want to at least try the series, and if it's something good, then maybe like in a couple years when my daughter's around 8 or 9, maybe it's something we'll read together if I like the first book. And then if you've been around here for a little bit, you guys know I've really gotten into creepy middle grade books, and I've been looking for this book for a while. This is The Forgotten Girl by India Hill Brown. I'd heard somebody review it and said it was really good because it's like a creepy ghost story, but it also is really discussing more serious issues about racism and things like that. I can't remember exactly what it's about, but I think it's about this girl who, her and her friends are sneaking out one night to play in the snow, and I think they find a grave in an abandoned cemetery, and I think it's specifically an abandoned black cemetery is what it says. So I think it'll be having like topics about racism and things like that, along with maybe a ghost story. But I've been wanting to read this book for a long time, and it was like perfect condition, so I definitely just grabbed that right away when I saw it. And then I picked up Dragonflight and Dragon Spear by Jessica Day George. I had bought Dragon Slippers, the first book in this trilogy, back in like my birthday time, I think, around May, and I haven't read it yet, but for some reason, I think I'm gonna really enjoy this series. So since these were in perfect condition, I figured I might as well pick them up. Really hope that I enjoy that first book. And if I don't really like it myself, I can still keep these on my shelf for when my kids get a little older. But Jessica Day George is just a really popular middle grade author of fantasy, and so I think I'm gonna like her. So I just went ahead and picked up those 2 books. And then a book that I just know I'm going to enjoy because I've loved everything I read by her is Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson. And this is kind of like her memoir written in verse. And everybody that rates this, you know, gives it such high praise. So I figured I will definitely enjoy that one. And I just haven't read it yet, even though I've read several of her other middle grade books. So I thought I'd pick that one up. And then I got The Well by Mildred D. Taylor. This is in the what is it called? The Logan Family series. And I've just been slowly picking up all the books from that series. I think I have all of them, except for I wasn't necessarily planning on picking up the little novellas, but this one was $2, so I figured I would get it. I'm not gonna pay full price for the novellas, but if I see them in a used bookstore, I'm gonna pick them up. But I own all of the novels now, so I am ready to jump in and read this series. And this is like a historical fiction that follows several generations of one family. And then the last book is the only adult fiction book I got, which is Daughters of Sparta by Claire Haywood. And if you saw my video earlier, I think last week, I was talking about how I want to read along with the ancient civilizations that we are learning in homeschool. So as my daughters are learning about different ancient civilizations, I want to read books that go along with that and to do retellings of myths and things like that. And so this is a kind of retelling of the Iliad, but from the point of view of Helen and her sister. And I don't even think it's necessarily a direct retelling of everything that happens in the Iliad. It might be following them in their whole lives. But yeah, it's from the point of view of Helen. So I figured I would try it out, and it has a really pretty cover. So that'll be one that I'll read when we study Greece around January, February. And that's it. So I got this stack of books for free, mostly, just paid for tax in exchange for the 9 boxes of books I gave to them, which is great because those were books I didn't want to have in my house anymore. And now I have books that my daughters and I can share in and enjoy together through homeschool or just through read-alouds as a family. So I'm really excited. Thank you for coming along with me on my shopping spree, my unhaul, and then picking up a few things. I will probably be doing another video in a few weeks where I take some books to Little Free Libraries because I still have another box of books that I just didn't think were of the quality to take to Half Price Books. And so I wanted to take them around to some Little Free Libraries in the area. There's some of them I know are more targeted at kids books and some that are more adult books, and so I'm gonna do a couple of each, and so I'll take you around with me when I do that, but that probably will be a few more weeks because I just need to have a time when I can do it, and this weekend has already, been taken up by this process. So if you have read any of these, I'd love to hear from you, and I will see you next time. Bye.